Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come. Interesting thing about Kansas City, there's a Kansas City, Missouri, you're seeing that, and then there's also Kansas City, Kansas on the other side of the river. So you always have to ask someone from Kansas City, are you from Missouri or are you from Kansas City, Kansas? Anyway, we're getting ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's set to ring here in short order. So far, so good. Here's a quick look at our pre-market trading board. As you can see, everything is in the green. Hopefully it stays that way. Again, we'll take you to the New York Stock Exchange for the opening bell here in just a few minutes, 5 minutes to be exact. First, though, let's get you over to David. David, good morning.
Good morning, T. Bates. Time now for our daily dose of dollars and common sense. We have American Sunrise Early Edition host, the guy behind Jake's Takes Substack. That'd be Jake Novak. Hey, Jake. So something about the housing market bothering you again. It's something new, though, right?
Yeah, I've been bothered by the stubborn mortgage rates staying above 6%, but now I'm bothered by something else. David, a third of all single-family homes bought between April and June in this country were bought by speculative investors, not by families, not by people trying to go and live there, but by Wall Street firms, private equity. Of course, they have the right to do that. I'm not saying we should restrict them from doing that. But that tells me that there still aren't enough regular buyers. And what Wall Street's trying to do right now is take advantage of the inventory while they are the only ones who have enough money to pay for this kind of stuff, and then jack up prices later, either by renting these homes out or maybe by flipping them, things like that. And if you have a good, low-cost, decent, nice neighborhood that you're living in, don't tell anyone because then Wall Street will come. And, my daughter just moved into one in a city I will not name right now. And the first thing that some of my friends on Wall Street told me is like, don't say anything because then my partners are going to want to buy her building and jack up the rent. So it's one of those things I'm a little bit worried about. I like to see families buying these properties just as much as investors. And a third of all new, that's a big number.
Yeah, that is interesting, and that kind of goes to show that just because you have a fact, a stat, that doesn't tell the entire story. So I guess people at this point, your conclusion be wary of exactly what's going on in the housing market. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we need these mortgage rates to come down, and we need regular families buying homes at a higher rate to really get this economy going. It has such a huge impact on many other parts of the economy. I loved during the campaign when President Trump talked about building homes on federal lands, which would exclude a lot of the taxes and regulations and really get those costs down just for the base price, let alone more. Wouldn't really do anything to mortgages, but would get the base price down. I'd like to see that get started, especially in the cities where federal land goes along the major highways. Here in New York, stuff like that. That would actually be a desirable place to live. Not in the Midwest, maybe, but certainly in big cities.
Yeah, good point. All right, so Jake, there was this fire Monday that really affected Ford. Tell us about that. What's happening there?
Yeah, a fire in New York hits Ford in Detroit. How does that happen? Well, it's Novelis, and they make a lot of aluminum. And, Ford really uses more aluminum than they ever did before. And this is a very big deal for them. They're now going to have to go to find other suppliers because this is an aluminum factory fire. And Ford shares were down about 1.5% or so yesterday on this news. It's going to really drive up their costs. Again, look at this fire. This is no laughing matter. They're not going to be up and running at this plant for quite some time, probably early next year at the earliest. Although I will say this, sometimes there are miracle workers in this industry, and maybe they'll get it open sooner. But until then, Ford's going to have to eat some losses there, and that's too bad because that eventually they'll probably pass that on to us at the dealership.
My goodness, look at that video for sure. And by the way, what do you think does that bode not well for Ford in the short term as it relates to the stock price? Who knows? I got about 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, it might be challenging for them, but they got some other good news coming for them, including some tariff relief on other supplies. So Ford, I wouldn't sell all your Ford stock right now on that alone.
All right, Jake Novak, great to have you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay.
American Sunrise Early Edition, 7 a.m. with Jake. Right now, T. Bates in Denver. The opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It is sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
We're less than a minute away from the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. We're going to take you to the applause there at the NYSE in short order. You see, there's already a group at the podium right now. looks like the Empire State there, it says. Again, since the applause is underway, that means the bell is going to ring here in short order, and then we'll get a better idea of how the markets are looking on this Wednesday of trading. We're halfway through the week. Pre-market trading was looking really, really good. Now that the markets are officially open, let's see how things are looking at the moment. The Dow and S&P 500 are all up. The Nasdaq is also up. Looks like VIX is the only blemish on our screen right now as it is in the red, but gold as well as crude oil are all up as well. So hopefully those of you who are trading will ultimately have a good day and you'll get a little bit more money than you went into the markets with. Here's a question for you though. Do you owe back taxes? Are your tax returns still unfiled? Did you forget to file or file for an extension? Well, the October 15th deadline is fast approaching and time is really running out. If you haven't gathered all of your documents or made any estimated payments, well, you could soon be targeted by the IRS. They can garnish your wages, freeze your bank accounts, or even seize your property. There is help available, though. Tax Network USA, which is a nationwide tax firm, has helped taxpayers save over $1 billion in tax debt. They filed hundreds of thousands of tax returns and assisted thousands of people in reducing their tax burdens. Plus, they can help you as well. So don't wait. Visit tnusa.com/RAV or call 800-905-8000 for a 100% free consultation. In one short call, the experts at Tax Network USA will guide you through some simple questions to determine just how much you can save. Take action now before it's too late, simply by visiting tnusa.com/RAV or calling 800-905-8000. Still to come here on American Sunrise, a new poll finds that Americans are fed up with Democrats on the government shutdown. We'll break down the numbers and get the very latest information for you next.